May 30 definition of terms. Number 1. For record purposes, considered to be the utmost use of photography in police work. General view, taking as overall location of the crime scene. Number 3. Medium view, photograph of the scene of the crew by dividing section. This view will the best view the nature of the scene. Close-up view, taking of an individual photograph of the evidence of the scene of the design to show to details of the what. Extreme close-up view, commonly designed to laboratory photographing using some magnification such as photomacrography and photomicrography. Next is for preservation. Crime scene and other physical evidence requires photograph for preservation purposes. Crime scene cannot be relation as for long period of time, but through photography, the condition of the scene of the crime can preserve properly. Next is photomicrography, taking a magnified photograph of a small object through attaching a camera to ocular of a compound microscope so as to show minute details of physical evidence. Next is photomacrography, taking a magnified large photograph of a small object by attaching an extended tube lens, macro lens, to the camera. Microphotography, the process of reducing into so it is used in filmmaking. Next is macrophotography, used synonymously with photomacrography. Next is telephotography, is the process of taking photograph of a far object with the long focus and telephoto lens. Next is natural lights, are those light of which common to existence without the intervention of man, sunlight, moonlight, and starlight. 13. Bright sunlight, object in an open space cast as a deep and uniform shadow and the object appear glossy. Next is hazy light, object in an open space cast a transparent or bluish shadow. Next is dull sunlight, object in an open space cast no shadow due to thick clouds covering the sun. Next is photography, is the art, science, and practice of creating durable images by recording light. Forensic, derived from the Latin word forum, which means a marketplace where people gathered for public discussion. Next is camera, is a device that record and restored images. Next is photograph, is an image created by light falling on a light sensitive surface, usually photographic film or electro-imager. Next, Aristotle, in 4th century BC, described observing a partial solar eclipse in 330 BC by seeing the image of the sun projected through the small spaces between the leaves of the tree. Next is Ibn al-Haytham or Al-Hazen, an foreign scientist who wrote about observing a solar eclipse through a pinhole. Uh, the file describe show a sharper image could be produced by making the opening of the pinhole smaller. Next is Robert Boyle, a British scientist who with his assistant Robert Hooks developed a portable camera in 1660. Next, Johann Zahn in 1665 built the first camera obscura that was small enough for practical use as a portable drawing, all because the only way to preserve the image produced by the camera was to manually trace them. Next, Joseph Niépce was a French inventor who is noted for producing the first known photographs in 1825 by using a sliding wooden box camera made by Charles and Vincent Chevalier in Paris. Next, 1920, the electronic video camera tube was invented, starting a line of development that eventually resulted in digital camera, which largely supplanted film cameras after the turn of the 21st century. Next is William Henry Fox Talbot, a British inventor and a pioneer of photography Next is Lumiere Brothers introduced the autochrome, the first commercially successful color process. Next is Kodachrome, the first modern integral Type-A-color film was introduced by Kodak in 1935. Next is crime prevention. With use of video camera, hidden camera, and other advanced photographic equipment, crimes are being detected more easily and even to the extent of preventing them from initially occurring. Last is police training. Modern facilities are now being used as instructional material not only in police training as well as in other agencies.